Hi, my name is Charlotte Conrad, and I am a student in the College of Nursing program at Grand Canyon University. This is my final project and video presentation for Nursing 674. I have titled my project, From Practice to Proficiency, The Path to Permanent Skill. This presentation will outline the objectives, the methods, and the outcomes of my final project. I will discuss the organizational site, needs assessment, project topics, and the goals and outcome. I will also discuss stakeholders' involvement, the project sustainability, professional goals, AONL competencies, and end with project reflection. The site for my project was the College of Nursing and Healthcare Professions at Grand Canyon University. Although there are other GCU nursing programs across the United States, this project was limited to the main campus traditional nursing students in Phoenix, Arizona. The focus was on the open practice lab for nursing students. I based my needs assessment on data from past semesters, which revealed several issues with the current process for performance-based assessments, or PBAs, including low first-time pass rates, reduced student confidence, and decreased satisfaction for both students and staff. Students frequently requested more practice time, noting a significant gap between the initial instructor-led lab and the 1 to 2 hour practice sessions held a week later. This separation of instruction and practice was believed to negatively affect the learning process, particularly since students having varying speeds of skill acquisition may need more time to practice. Research supports this observation, with one study identifying factors such as limited practical experience, educational gaps, and clinical stress as contributors to nursing students' clinical competence issues. That same study suggested incorporating micro-learning, space learning, and increased feedback to enhance student skills and increase clinical competency. Drawing on initial needs assessment that highlighted student requests and a proposal introduced by the Director of Skills Lab, Vanessa Slaughter, and the Associate Dean, a new practice lab was created in the fall semester of 2024 to support improved nursing proficiencies and reverse declining pass rates on the performance-based assessments. Open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. and 1 p.m. to 5 p.m., the lab provides critical opportunities for repetition necessary to build those competencies and confidence. This dedicated practice time helps the students internalize their skills, illustrating the way extensive repetition builds proficiency in other complex tasks, such as learning to drive. According to one study led by UCLA Health, repetition helps not only improve skills but also shows subsequent and profound changes in the memory circuits of the brain. Just as extensive practice moves driving skills from a stressful conscious effort to secondhand or second nature reflex, the lab's dedicated hours also allow nursing students to internalize these procedures. There's an old saying, see one, do one, teach one. However, in nursing and in most fields, seeing and doing only once does not make anyone proficient in any skill. Repetition is key, and the ability for nursing students to practice in a safe, low-stress environment allows proficiency in their future practice as registered nurses. During my time with my preceptor, we decided that evaluating the newly created practice lab would be a worthy project. Additional teaching tools were also identified as helpful to students, as well as tools for evaluating the teaching and learning processes for each skill. The primary goal has been to evaluate the significance of having open practice lab hours for nursing students to enhance skills, increase confidence and safety, and measure to see if there has been a significant statistical difference in first-time pass rates of the nursing students when they have their performance-based assessments. This is based off of quantitative data. A second outcome of this primary project is based on qualitative data from students in the form of a Likert scale that I developed. The project's secondary goals included developing evaluation tools and supplemental teaching materials for the Level 2 medical surgical students. For the medication administration, IV skills, Foley catheter, nasogastric, respiratory care labs, I created a 10 to 15 question Kahoot assessment to evaluate each teaching and the teaching completeness and student comprehension. Additionally, short PowerPoint presentations for skills and a validated IV insertion video were created to provide extra resources before each lab. The IV insertion video has been approved and it is scheduled for platform upload in the spring 2026 semester. The Kahoot evaluation tools have been used in this fall semester as approved by my preceptor and the Level 2 instructor. The focus of my project outcome will be on the evaluation of PBAs and their results before and after the Open Practice Lab was opened. Comparing the same time frame and testing from both groups is imperative in showing the value of the practice lab. Improving PBA pass rates and competency and confidence in students became the driving force for change. I compared the Level 2 medication PBA results from the 2023 spring and summer semesters to the same semesters in 2025 after the practice lab had been created. It will also review the qualitative study results from the Likert scale. This slide shows the quantitative and statistical data which are relevant to the opening of the practice lab. Prior to the practice lab, the first-time pass rates for Med Admin were at an all-time low. At 58% in our Level 2 Med Pass PBA, the data showed the need for change. With the addition of the practice lab, the same 2 semesters of Level 2 students were compared between 2023, before the practice lab was open, to 2025, after the practice lab had been open. As you can see, the cost of administering one 40-minute test per student and remediations, which take additional time and staff, was exceedingly expensive at over $100 per student. In comparison, after the practice lab was put into place and utilized by the students, the cost for the same test, the same semesters, averaged approximately $53.64. This is a noticeable difference, saving approximately $47 per student. The statistical difference shows that the addition of the practice lab has in fact shown markedly increased pass rates. The statistical significance shows a z-score of approximately 7.32 with a p-value of less than 0.05. There's insurmountable evidence to show the impact of the implementation of the student practice lab. As part of my project, I wanted to gauge the students' perceived value of the Open Practice Lab. I designed a 5-statement Likert scale as an assessment of the utilization of the practice lab and their personal experiencing when practicing. Students could respond with strongly agree, agree, neither agree or disagree, disagree, or strongly disagree. Highlighted in pink are the percentages of each statement which was answered as agree or strongly agree. 99% of students felt the practice lab was helpful for improving their skills. 95% utilized the skills lab 2 or more times a semester. 95% of the students found the practice lab to be helpful and a valuable tool for their nursing education and their PBAs. 93% felt that it was a positive learning environment and supportive, and 83% were content with the proctors assisting in lab. Addressing the needs for evaluating how best to instruct students and also how to evaluate their learning has always been an essential in teaching. In the skills lab, it's vital that students understand what they've been taught. I designed a 10 to 15 question Kahoot for each lab to evaluate learning and to clarify areas that we as teachers may miss when teaching. With Kahoot, I can see which questions are missed most frequently and revise the questions or revise the teaching, or both. For students to have something outside of the skills lab to refer to, I have also developed a video with the help of 2 other staff members for IV insertion. This 30-minute detailed video shows every step of this procedure. Other shorter PowerPoint presentations are available to students and staff if the staff wants to use them for their instruction. The stakeholders involved in these projects are both the students and the staff, including my preceptor, Vanessa Slaughter, who is the Executive Director of Skills Lab, and she makes all the final decisions on any new material that is used. The students and staff have both received the Open Practice Lab as a huge asset to the students and in turn reducing the number of remediations, decreasing stress on students and staff, and improving competency and skills. To date, there has been no negative comments from staff regarding the new lab, and instructors are highly encouraging their students to sign up for Practice Lab. The Open Practice Lab is financially secure and sustainable, driven by prior low performance-based assessment results and strong student demand. First proposed in 2022 and approved in 2023 For the 2024 budget, the lab opened in the fall semester of 2024 and has shown to be highly successful. The lab is popular with students and facilitates small group skill practice with future metrics expected to show improved PBA pass rates. The Director of Skills Lab, Vanessa Slaughter, will oversee continuous evaluation to ensure the lab's ongoing value and sustainability. Determining my professional goals included a strong desire to develop some leadership skills. My preceptor was a great example and gave me a lot of advice on how to be a fair and strong leader. The practicum has also given me knowledge of how to incorporate servant leadership and also transformational leadership into future leadership roles. I spent time with my preceptor learning how to manage resources in the skills lab, and this included staff and supplies. Budgeting was a big part of my preceptor's job as well, and I was able to learn some about the complexities of budgeting, ordering supplies, justifying expenses, and continuous quality improvement. A key part of nursing leadership is exemplifying professionalism and fostering a just culture where team members can openly share their concerns and ideas. My preceptor really did model this behavior by upholding ethics and valuing open communication and creating an environment where all stakeholders feel comfortable participating. And that included the staff and the students. Additionally, I was able to contribute to the work of integrating some evidence-based practice within the skills lab curriculum to ensure quality and safety, and included updating some outdated procedures which follows the knowledge of the healthcare environment AONL competency. I spent time going through the financial portion of my preceptor's job. It was very complex, and yet it showed me some good examples of financial management and how priorities are set. Continuing sound financial decisions helps to continue the skills lab to have the supplies and the staff they need each day. Overall, I would say that I learned a great deal over the past 4 months with my preceptor and all the class questions and readings. It has been an invaluable experience, and I have so appreciated all the time that my preceptor Vanessa Slaughter spent with me, explaining different aspects of leadership and just encouraging me as I work through my projects. Being a leader is very challenging, but I feel more informed about nursing than ever before, and about nursing leadership and how I can become an effective and professional leader in the future. Thank you so much for viewing my presentation video.